This is what we're looking at. Okay, here. I'm going to bring this Excel sheet up. Now, this is a fairly, can't say new, but it is fairly new Excel sheet. It's XLS rather than Excel. So if you have an older Excel and you can't load this file, this is in the files you're downloading. If you can't unload, you can't work this file, let me know, and I'll send you an older XLS version of the spreadsheet. So what the spreadsheet does, let's go back to our chart, my chart here, back up here to just to the chart. Okay, we'll go to the first one. Okay, here we go. So we have this. Go over a little bit here. I have our pattern type points. So really, you're counting 2 points for the sun, 2 points for the moon, and we're going to do the signs first. How many points in Aries? You know, look at Aries. Nothing's in Aries, so it's going to be 0. So you see on this sheet, you can put your name on the top, last name, first name, year, month, date, birth, place, so you get your identification on top. You can write the planet type in. You can put the moon phase angle and waxing and waning, and name the moon phase. The sun, moon, and ascendant rising sign goes there. The first 3 steps are put right there. Then when we get down to these zodiac signs and we're using the points, it's reminding you here, 2 points for the sun and moon, 1 planet, 1 for the angle. So Aries is 0. And here's where you enter the points. I'm just going to do this so you see what happens. Taurus, look at Taurus. I have 1 point. I have the midheaven in Taurus. That's 1 point. So I'll go here. I'll add the 1 point. Look in Gemini, Uranus is there. I got 1 point in Gemini, 1 there. Cancer, have the moon, that's 2 points. 2 points in Cancer. Leo, there's Saturn and Pluto in Leo. So I'll put 2 points in Leo. Virgo, I have the rising sign, which is 1 point. Then I got to go down to this next one, down below where it says 100 points for Libra. I have the Sun and Neptune, that's 3 points. I hope you see what I'm doing. Scorpio, Jupiter, Mercury, and Mars. Scorpio is 3 points. Sagittarius, Venus is in Sagittarius, 1 point. Whoops, 1 second, I missed one. 1 point. No, that's right. 3, 1. Capricorn 0, Aquarius 0, Pisces 0. So this is my 14-point system. Once I've entered them in, it repeats the same. Aries says I am, I have, I think. The keywords are put right underneath. It tells you how many points I balance and I desire. These are my 2 major points. 3. Then when I look at the spreadsheet, I go down it. I see that when I look at, so when we look at our points, I'm just going to go back to our point system here. There. The first number 4 is daylight is greater, nighttime is greater. How many points there? So this automatically calculates and put it here. I have 2 points daylight increasing and 11 points darkness increasing. So I have a lot of momentum towards belonging. There's a lot of needing to belong, needing to participate, trying to increase responsibilities. The darkness is increasing. That's important to see. I'm the Libra that wants to belong more. Most Libras will because they're born in that phase, but all the other planets, the moon, everything else is on that side. So just like the sun, moon, and ascendant, so we're kind of half watching the sun, moon, and ascendant. I would have written them in here, just Libra. You'll see it in a minute. But we'll go through. So it adds all the totals for each of the categories: daylight greater, darkness greater, cardinal fixed mutable, the elements, the modes, masculine, feminine, and how many times how many planets each planet rules. So if the sun rules Leo, I have 2 planets in Leo. The moon rules Cancer. There's 2 points in Cancer because the moon's there. Mercury rules Virgo, and Gemini have 2 points. Venus rules Libra and Taurus, and I have 4 points. So I'm beginning to see by how many times each rulership, how important it is to maintain each rulership. That's useful information. This is the information we're looking to get. And then when you come down to the second half of this, there's the astrological houses. And you go through the chart again, you enter how many points in each house. And it counts up all the categories again. So it prepares you for the whole first 15 steps. It counts all the points for you. Into this. So this is included in the things to download, and I think I'll have to send them along with the video to you guys that haven't made the session. Okay, so when we go through this, there is a sheet you'll also get. I used this sheet for 20 years, 30 years. It's a hand-drawn sheet where I can write the totals in. I counted them each myself, put them through, and it lets me put the waning phase, the moon phase, and the sun, moon, ascendant. It organizes all this information for the first step on one form. So I used to hand calculate this for every chart I did, and I just keep it with it. So I did that. Wow. I mean, the computers only came in 77, and they didn't really have good astrology programs or good databases really till you got a little bit further. So I used about 18 years to 20 years. I just did this by hand for thousands of charts, and I would always have this handy as just the overview of all the totals in the chart. It puts everything together. So then we go into the in-depth thing with each of the planets. So this is the same thing, but it's just organized. It's easier to get. It's on a data spreadsheet that has all the information here. Okay, I've split it up. So we're doing the daylight greater, nighttime greater, daylight increasing, nighttime increasing, seasons of activity. I spelled wrong. Huh. Okay, masculine, feminine, the modes, the elements, the rulerships. Again, I'm going to try and fix this, and I may try and get you send you the one where this is. It's possible I may just be used an older one for myself, and the one that I've sent you is correct, but I'll check. Okay, so these first 10 categories are right down here. So we have the bowl, we have the waning gibbous phase, which we read out. Then we've entered in the points for each sign, how many times each sign is accentuated. And then we see the keywords, how many times each keyword is accentuated, which is the same as the signs. So my most significant one is I balance and I desire. Those are the two that have 3 each. I feel and I will both have 2. Then there's some that have 1 and some that have not very much, and these are in those attitudes, in the signs. So that's enough just to see that. It stands for that's the keywords. But when we look at daylight increasing, darkness increasing on the left here in the box, you'll see 2 and 12. Okay, so probably when I was entering it in the other one, I didn't enter 1 right. They should always total 14 with the signs. So 2 points daylight increasing, that's my midheaven and my Uranus, and the rest is all darkness increasing. So my distinction, this is a strong distinction because it's such a big difference between the two. A lot of people have 6, 7, and 7, or 7, 8, and 6, not a big deal. 9 and 5 starts to stand out a little bit more, and then it builds up. But this is 12 and 2. So certainly the darkness increasing, the increasing responsibility, increasing involvement with others, taking on extra commitments, whether I'm ready for them or not, that's a key factor. But when you look at daylight is greater and darkness is greater, I'm kind of balanced between belonging and being independent. So I'm balanced between belonging and being independent. In my momentum of what I'm trying to do, I'm always trying to do things for others. That goes with the pattern type. So these are our first 2. Now here we got it set up in the cardinal, fixed, mutable. 5 cardinal, 6 mutable, 6 fixed, 3 mutable. So I'm driving, but I'm more stubborn. I'm mostly determined and stubborn. Once I start on something, I don't stop. It takes a real effort for me to change directions. Once I start researching, I can't stop. Once I start teaching, same thing, I get fixed in it, logged in. I push for it. So I push my ideas and I'm determined in them. I expect them to be anchored. I can adjust, but it takes an effort to adapt. Only 3 points mutable. That's just a simple thing, but those are small, simple statements, but they have strong behavioral repercussions in a person's life. Okay, so as you're working through it, you have this overview. You may not hold all together, you've touched it. Then when you're going through the planets or other things, you might say, oh, this is part fit, this is fitting into this is fitting into that. And they'll begin to reinforce this. Then we see the 4 seasons. Winter for me is 0, 2 points in spring, 6 points summer, 5 points summer, 7 in autumn. So certainly the summer and the fall are my active times of the year, where when the sun's going through the signs, that's when they make all the conjunctions to my ball chart. So that's my activity, highest activity, and winter and spring are lower activities. I love being in Canada because the winter's here, and when it's cold out, it's easy to stay home and spend extra time writing because it's cold out there. It's beautiful to go out, but it makes it easy for writing. But anyways, I'm just showing you how you go through it. So the steps are numbered on the sheets, and you're filling in from the steps, but they're organized here so you can see them. And when you're working with this, you don't have to write everything out. You can go through these steps and see them. For your chart, for your exam on this level, you have to have all these categories down with comments about each of them, of how they work for you, just like the worksheets. And then masculine and feminine, -7, 7, no imbalance, not a bad, and more or less projecting and reflecting about the same. Oops. Then with the rulerships, 2 sun rulerships, 2 moon, 2 Mercury, 4 Venus, 3 Mars, 1 Jupiter, 0 Saturn. So Saturn rules nothing. Jupiter rules 1 planet. Mars rules 3. I want to do it. Venus rules 4. I got to have it. I want it. I got to do it. I see it. I got to make it happen. I got the vision. I got to make it. So the Venus and the Mars, it's important for me. If I'm in a bad relationship, it messes up a lot of things. If I'm not living up to my rulers and making the best of my rulerships, so it's important I have to have good values, or it messes up what I'm doing. And there were times in my life where, looking back, what seemed to be good values at the time was a little bit more lusty and not as valuable as they should have been. I had lessons to learn. But I still went chasing after them until it didn't work anymore. So even though these are simple, you can work the rulerships are your guides. Like I have Saturn, Pluto, and Leo. So the sun guides it. It's important to me to have goals and to be noble about the work and the confrontations on the work I have to feel noble about it. Moon has 2 points. That's the moon in its own sign. And so I have the strong moon in Cancer and the feelings. The Mercury, the Virgo, rules Virgo and Gemini. So I have Uranus and the Virgo rising. So I have 2 points affecting that really require me to think well or to make the better use of my mind. In other words, you're always trying to aspire to elevate your nature to be aligned with the nature of your rulerships. Then you're aligning with the gods. Then you're making the best use of that planet, or expressing the attitude best. Okay, and yeah, so all of these will stand out. So with Mars being 3, I really have to qualify and work hard. It's quality. I have to do things with quality rather than quantity. Well, I was always somewhat small. I never was violent or a violent person, but I'm certainly competitive around Mars. I think my life changed when I started Tai Chi, which I've done for probably 76, for 45 years now anyways. And it keeps me calm. When the anger shows up, it allows me to tranquilize it, usually. Okay, so this is the first 10 points we just went through. And going through these 10 points, the 10 points. And that, I expect you just little comments, that simple. You know, when you look at the elements, what stands out, what doesn't. Look at the modes, what stands out, what's the primary, and how it works.